Hi Godspeed. This channel is against the Big Bang and the current view of astronomy. I'm saying like tea science or a coffee science. In this video I want to tell you that they do not know how the atoms were made. So there exists not a paper on this earth written with how the atoms were made. So why they are pretending? Only that they do not allow. They pretend they don't know the mass, and so somehow in the volume of density will not permit that the atoms will form. Why this is important? Because since the moment the Big Bang exploded, nothing stops atoms from forming. If they are forming, because all the atoms are instantaneous elements. Copper. You cannot have copper only if the atoms are put in the orbit like this. There is not exactly the representation of atom. The atom is a frequency and things like this, waves, ondulatory, not in the world. But I'm telling you, there is not in existence a written paper on this earth, scientific paper. So it is blank, to entail the atoms. You understand? If I'm telling you science, you'll believe that you are stupid. You go at schools and you will hear these guys that in the first seconds of the Big Bang, radiation and things like this, all the radiation presuppose atom priors, cathode radiation, electron, light. They were making in 50s. I read the Weinberg book. Protons, anti-protons, anti-light even. Anti-light, like minus 1 plus 1, minus 2 plus 2. Everything has anti to somehow trick you with some magic that they know how atoms were formed. But listen to this and understand that you cannot have copper but only in an instant. So you cannot have to any reason that from the Big Bang to the copper to give time. You understand? There is not in an existence known some energy that they were gathered together and formed copper, because we do not know this, and there is not a good paper written on earth like on this hour. You understand? But when you have copper, the copper is an instant element like all the Mendeleev atoms. So if you presuppose the Big Bang exploded, I'm putting to you only this picture in this video that you will familiarize. I'm going to make four videos about this picture. So this for atom, there is not known where the atom occurred. But you understand, all the Mendeleev metals, no metals and gases are instantaneous. You cannot make copper like you put salts, little bit. When you have it, it's an instantaneous. So why do you presuppose that from some Big Bang or the pretended creation of atoms will be a million years, 2 million, 4 million years, 100, 300 millions? And you'll see on these pictures they are not agreeing with each other. For them, 100 million to the stars is nothing, okay? So if you have atom, you have planets before, because a planet means atom. A planet. So light presupposes something supplementary in this copper thing, that to obtain light. So the planets you could be given prior the stars. But you understand, this is important. The atom, it is an instantaneous element. When you have it, you have it. All of them. It is instantaneous. You cannot make only on like percentage in grams, 3 grams, 4 grams of copper. But when you have copper, you have copper and gold, and they do not know. And they do not know. And they do not know. You understand? And the hydrogen, it's a complex thing, not like you are believing. It's a frequency. I put to you that like they say different, the density, and they call it different, but the hydrogen density or the probability or things like this. But anyhow, it is for you to understand that the hydrogen, it's a complex thing. It's the exact thing of resonance. And you cannot have half a hydrogen. You cannot have it. You understand? So you cannot have, if you have hydrogen, you do not have any reason to presuppose that you cannot have oxygen. And Webb James gave oxygen on near the Big Bang. So only thing that they have to trick you is that they do not allow it, because you saw fire and it will burn you to not understand. This is the only procedure that they have. So when you have atoms, you have them instantaneous. All of them are instantaneous. So the if you gave the Big Bang until the atoms, you have not any reason, scientific reason, that a year, 2 or 3, because they are instantaneous. And you have a copper, you have iron. It is not different. You understand? Because the orbits, when they are, they are. And when they are not, they are not. There is not copper. So you understand that they do not know how the atoms were made. And there is not a coherent scientific paper. Only lies. And they are trick you like this. It was radiation, all radiation presuppose atoms. Prior radiation, all radiation. And fire, it was fire and will burn you. You burn your mind if you. Big fire, million of degrees. They'll falsify thermodynamics, because the thermodynamics is a limited function. And they'll falsify thermodynamics. Big fires. Weinberg, in the books, 15 billion of billion of billion of million of billion of degrees. What it is false, thermodynamically false. And things like this prove that they do not know science even, you understand? So if you want to be tricked and to listen to them with their magic, but I'm telling you the truth, they do not know how atoms are occurring. And the atoms are instantaneous. If you have the Big Bang, they are exploded atoms directly. You do not have any reason from the Big Bang to pass a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years for passing, because they are instantaneous. And the procedure are only for like crowded. There was much crowd, like human crowd, and they cannot form. There is not sufficient space. But they are lying, because when you destroy atom, destroy the law of physics. So when you have it, you must have the density given by the atoms, and the Planck constant to be valid. And they are lying. You cannot have a lower density than Planck constant. So if you have constant Planck constant, you have atoms. So the Big Bang could not be under the constant of Planck. So in this way you obtain a sphere if you want to package the whole mass and energy of the universe. But you cannot calculate the mass of the universe and energy. Okay, This is my first video, like and subscribe. The atoms are instantaneous and this picture is false, if you understand. They do not have any backup. Goodbye. You must correlate many of my videos to make you for that you to have a clear image on what I'm saying. Okay, the science cannot be presented all in one video. God bless about the atoms and the Big Bang. Nothing exploded at Big Bang because Big Bang did not occur. It is false.